What?
Hey everybody, you're listening to the Wombo podcast. I'm Chip Monk, and with me as always is the Mr. Gimpy.
What's up, Chip? How's it going, dude?
What's happening, bro? It's crazy, man. Just having this little double shot of espresso after a little, can of beer.
A little can of beer.
So cold Steve Austin it this morning, bro. I'm like, had a little tall boy there to get a little bit of the hair of the dog that bit you last night type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, sounds like you had a long night last night, dude.
Yeah.
But you're still somehow up before me and ready to go before me.
I blame because it was a long night, dude. Like I woke up and I had to poop, dude. Like this is old people problems. Nothing will get you.
It's drinking problems, right?
Yeah.
Like whenever there's a night of drinking, I always have to take like a monster poop the next day.
Yeah. It's nothing will get you out of bed faster than having to poop, dude. Like like thinking you might poop your pants in bed, dude. You're like, I'm too old for this. Like I can't. I'm not old enough yet. I feel like if I'm a little bit older, I could probably get away with it. I'm like, what can you do?
Right. You know, the old bodily functions don't work like they used to. It happens every now and then. You know,
like, I can't drink like I used to, guys. It's like, bro, you pooping your pants. I think you got a problem. Like. Nah, it's just, the body's starting to go.
Yeah, man. Pooping your pants is the great equalizer too, It's like what makes us all human. It's everyone has had that experience before. Yeah. So whenever you mention it, everyone knows like the embarrassment, the feeling, just, it's something that we can all relate to. So I appreciate you bringing that up on the pod. It really humanizes you.
You're welcome, dude. So I was out hanging out with my bro. I brought over the VR, sharing the VR experience with the family. He's having a great time with that. Brought him into the super hot VR.
Yeah,
I feel like that's a great game. Like if somebody's not used to VR, because the game only moves when you move, so you're not getting any kind of motion sickness.
Yep.
And like at first it gets kind of frustrating, but then like when you start getting used to it, like you start to feel like you're in an action movie, and you're like, this is great.
Yeah. Nothing like
he had the same problem. He had the same problem I did though when he was trying to throw stuff, and it was just like going straight down. I don't know if it's because I have the Steam version of the game, and I'm using like Oculus controllers.
Yeah,
he's came to the conclusion he has to throw things more like a dart to get him to move forward.
Okay.
I don't know. I kind of did like a toss, like almost like a dart like motion when I throw things in it.
Yeah. Keep in mind, Super Hot VR is a very like first gen VR game too.
Yeah.
So did he have the throwing thing problem with every game, or just?
We just got to Super Hot, dude. Okay. Man, he got in Super Hot, and that was it.
Yeah. It's over.
Yeah, we played Super Hot till the batteries died, which I think is probably about like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Then we sat around programmed a video game. We did a bit of a game jam. We started making like a typing game.
Okay.
Where words come at you from like the side. Where like the original concept was like if like a beat 'em up was a typing game, and the professor was like, I can crank this out real quick in CSS. So that's what he did, dude. It was crazy. And like I drew up like a quick like I was like, do you have a whiteboard? He was like, no. He's like, I have like a drawing tablet. Is that good? I'm like, it's gonna have to do. It's like, dude, you're too bougie. I was like, we need whiteboards, bro. I don't know what you're doing down here. So yeah, I drew up like real quick how it would work, and I think I was somewhat helpful and not annoying because I know enough now about like game development and stuff where I'm like, oh, if this is happening, then you can just do this. You don't like. And he was like, yeah, like I feel like, oh yeah, it's good. There's a great suggestion. So like for just like little things, and we did that till the VR headset charged back up, and then he went outside to the backyard, and like he was like, does it work from outside? And I was like, I mean, yeah, it's wireless, man. You probably. Yeah. So he went out into the cornfield, which was way too far. He's like, I was kind of stuttering. I'm like, yeah, we're probably too far away. We should probably go to your like backyard, dude.
Yeah.
So I went to the backyard and it worked fine out there. And he was like, this game's completely different when you can run around. It's basically like cheating in VR when you can like go places like the game makers never intended you to go. So
he
was having a great time.
That's awesome. That's especially so he could do like room scale VR because he lives on the giant farm.
Yeah, in the backyard with wireless.
Yeah, like there, there's the whole thing of don't get your the sunlight directly on your VR headset or whatever.
It's the lenses, the
The
inside of the
lenses,
lenses,
yeah,
because
yeah, yeah, yeah.
they're magnifying glasses.
Yes, yes.
It will burn the inside of that headset if you leave it like facing up to the sun.
Right. So just be wary of that, but I'm sure you guys already were. And I got to say that sounds amazing. Like, can you imagine Professor, spoiler alert, got a headset. He texted me because my whole open offer of anyone who gets a VR headset gets 3 games.
Yeah.
He just texted me
Only friends and
randomly.
family. Only friends and family. People listen to that podcast. We're not sending you shit.
Appreciate
you gotta
you
put that
saving my
out there.
wallet.
Yeah, dude. You're gonna start getting DMs from everywhere.
For sure. So we got a bunch of crackheads just sitting there going, "Got any of that VR?"
Like, I got Google Cardboard VR, baby. Give me just
give me some games, baby. for sure. So yeah, friends and family. So Chip texted me randomly last night. I was sitting on the couch watching Moon Knight with the wife, and he goes, "Top 3 games on my wish list, brother." I'm like, oh fuck. All right. I'm like, all right, I'm a man of my word. So I gifted him Half-Life Alyx, Beat Saber, and Creed. So
nice.
should be interesting.
Yeah.
Creed, I have a limited space to play that, and I'm gonna be in my house. This man can go outside
into the field,
like
dude.
Full box. He can literally build a full boxing ring and run around it and fucking punch and shit. So that's going to be terrifying. I will say, if you do decide to get Creed, there is technically cross-play, but it doesn't. You don't. There's no like cross private matches, so it's better to get it on Steam if you have Steam friends with it. So just FYI,
I haven't gotten Creed yet. I got the demo, and I enjoyed the demo. So maybe I'll have to get it and see, especially now that I got the Professor, and I feel like that's one more person I can play online games with.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, man. We speaking of playing online games with friends, man. We showed up to your stream.
Showed up to the stream. Yeah, so everyone on the pod probably knows now. I stream every Monday and every Wednesday. Wednesday comes around, and lo and behold, Chipped Monk is available. So
yeah, man. What made you hit me up? We did the adult thing. We scheduled a play date, and that's what I told people. Like, what do you got? Because I took off the next day, but I didn't tell anybody. And like my coworkers are like, "What's going on?" I was like, "I got a play date with my buddy. We're gonna be playing video games."
Y'all maybe do a spit take.
And they didn't ask any more questions, man. You tell like another group of adults you have a play date, they're like, "All right, well, we'll see you Friday then." no follow up, nothing. I was just like, "Yeah, all right."
Yeah,
yeah.
That's awesome. I have a standing order with my job that the first like legitimately nice day, I'm not talking like a 50-degree day and slightly sunny, I'm talking like a fucking like 66-degree day. It's been sunny for a few days, it's nice and dry outside. I'm going disc golfing one day, and I'm just gonna tell work today's the day, and I'm fucking leaving. Like that's the day. I'm just gonna hit up whoever's available at that time and go, I'm gonna be here. If you need picked up, I'll come get you. If not, I'll see you there. That's
absolutely.
So someday soon, we're almost there. But
Path of the Warrior, man. Did a little bit of that.
Yes.
Oh, the warrior. I had to sideload the Oculus with some bootlegging software. I give the same bootlegging software to the.
So we both had to do some things to play together.
Yeah.
So just a little prerequisite. I use VR with the HTC Vive Cosmos Elite. It's very important that I say Cosmos Elite because the original Cosmos is a piece of crap headset. It's the Elite version, so it actually
less crappy.
Yeah, exactly.
It says Elite right on the box. It's way better.
Path of the Warrior is an Oculus exclusive game.
Yeah, it's the first party.
That was available on the Oculus Rift, which I am able to trick the Oculus Store into thinking I have one and to play this game.
Twisted Pixel.
Yep. There's an issue though. The game's in-game voice chat does not work for some reason. Other games do. Like I've played other games on the Quest and it was fine. But
the only game I've had experience with you is like a Tabletop 11, but that's cross-platform already. So
yeah,
it just works like magic. I remember when I was trying to get this work, I was like, oh man, I hope we don't have to do anything, and we didn't. And it was great. But for this game, we did connect because we did a quick test run earlier on, and we got it to connect and stuff. And then we had some connection issues at first, but like you fixed that with the emulator, and then like we finally connected. but we couldn't talk to each other. Super frustrating.
Yep.
And hard to play, especially like a beat 'em up game when you're like, oh, I'm gonna go this way and take out this
There's
guy
the guy behind you and you can't see. I'm like waving my hand in VR, like
my pantomiming shit to each other. Yeah. And like if you need health or whatever, like it's teamwork makes the dream work, as the kids say.
Yes,
so I had to sideload the Oculus. I don't know, I forgot what this program's called, but it does a lot of stuff if you wanted to. I gave it to the professor because it can remove like all of the Facebook from it, like completely. It basically unlocks your Oculus, but it allows you to go into developer mode and run applications in the background and still give it control of your microphone and cameras, which is kind of dangerous. It's invasive, but I assume that's already what Facebook's doing. They're doing creepy shit on that thing.
I'm sure.
Yeah, dude. Like when I take this
just
headset,
sitting in his fucking basement, just watching everyone in VR, just fucking rubbing his nipples. I guarantee it, dude.
Yeah, dude. Well, like, why wouldn't you, dude? Like, there's nothing. Like, if you're a crazy billionaire, like, what else do you have left to do except look at everybody's nipples? Dude, you're like, he's building like a database, like instead of a fingerprint database, he has like a nipple database of like every person in the world. Yeah,
guarantee it.
There's nothing else to do, man. You already won.
Freak, dude. Yeah.
Like I don't know. Like I feel like you get a little crazy.
Hashtag Zuck nipple database. Make it trend, everybody. Make it trend.
This wasn't part of this. Like this was like little news article that's been going around. I think it's like an older one, and it's started from an older Reddit post. It's called like I think derealization symptoms, like from people who spend too much time in VR. Where they start having like panic attacks and shit. They're like, my hands don't feel like my hands, man. It didn't seem very scientific. They basically take old people and they give them VR. And they're like, how are you feeling afterwards? And they're like, I feel a little weird. They're like, there you go. I don't know. I think it started from this older Reddit post because I like trying to track down like when did this shit start? And like this guy like on this Reddit post was like, hey man, I had an anxiety attack because I like my hands didn't feel like my hands, man, and it's kind of a problem. And everyone's like, we're not saying like we're not taking you seriously, but like don't give this out as like actual like medical advice, bro. Like go see a doctor. Like don't be spread like disinformation on Reddit, bro. Like go see a medical health professional. Like if you're having any sort of issues like with that. But yeah, man, it's nuts. Like I haven't had any of that, but it does make me feel like we're probably more likely living in a simulation now. Like I'm like, I can see that. Like
they're overlords at controlling it for sure.
Yeah, it's part of Zuckerberg's bigger nefarious plan, dude. To just collect nipple pics, dude, of everybody.
Nipplegate. Damn, I lost my train of thought with that one. So Path of the Warrior, we ended up streaming.
Huh?
I'm streaming Path of the Warrior. Really, really fun beat 'em up game. Very arcadey. It's not like Thrill of the Fight or Creed. You're not gonna, I punched my wall once, but it was light. It was light.
Just because you wanted to.
Yeah. I was testing my boundaries, and I'm like, is this really where my wall is? And it sure was.
Yeah. I punched the back of my TV once at the start. Yeah. And then I tried to reorient myself where I was standing in front of my couch. I don't know, like, especially like inside out tracking for the Oculus, like it doesn't do a good job of like telling how far out like your arms are extended, especially if you have like long arms, like if you're a tall person. I don't think it's really built for that. I think it's built for like, the average, like, so yeah, I don't know, man. Like, you can just that as far as like that side loading the Quest and getting Discord and stuff running, just type it into YouTube, you'll figure it out.
Yeah, the main thing is to fix the talking problem. Chip side loaded Discord and ran it as a background app to do it. But here's the thing: if you guys are doing this and you take off your headset, the background app turns off, so you have to restart everything. So just keep that in mind. That we found that out midstream. Overall, dude, it was a very fun stream. It was my first VR stream since doing Quake VR, and I stopped doing that just because my save. There was an update to Quake VR, my save got corrupted. I'm like, I'm not starting the whole fucking game over. This game's dead to me. It was great though. But yeah,
I have less patience for games. If I lose my save data as like an adult, I'm just like, I'm done.
Like with Quake, it's a different experience in VR, but it's a game I've completed like a million times in my life. So I was like, fuck it. I know how it ends. You know, it was different playing it in VR is great, but shit.
Yeah, Path of the Warrior was awesome. It's definitely more arcadey. It's like you said, it's like more forgiving. For there's like little pattern recognition and stuff, especially with like bosses. There's like cool like
each boss has a gimmick, which is really fun.
Yeah. Even like the levels, like the stages, like roller skate girls, like ninjas. There's like sewer alligators and stuff. Yeah, clowns. Yeah, we both got our first VR cream pie from clowns, dude. That was intense.
There's a
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 for sure. The game is not one where your velocity matters for your punches, so you can like lightly jab and play, which definitely saves your surroundings or family members that are running by.
The back of the TVs or the walls.
For sure.
I would definitely say like the arcade boss, RKD, was like the best boss in there. Like great gimmick, different, like he had like several different phases of different gimmicks. It was awesome. Like you basically have to beat him in different arcade games, and worked out very well. Like there's a good flow to that whole stage as well, where it's like nothing felt too long or overstayed its welcome. There's a couple of stages where it's like, ooh, this is a bit much, and I could only imagine like trying to like solo play, like where everything is twice as long. And you're like, hey man, this is kind of drags. But the game's definitely meant to be played like with two people who can communicate,
which is funny because it launched with single player only. Multiplayer was added as an update. It's crazy, but
it's definitely missing it.
Yeah, it's very fun, very very fun game. We need to beat the last level at some point soon, but it's fantastic.
Are you interested in doing another VR play date?
Definitely. It doesn't have to be on the stream either. I was thinking like maybe Friday or something like that. Thursday, Friday. Like
I was thinking that game Demio. Because that's more chill. That. Like I think last when we were playing that game, you're like, oh man, I'm so tired. All right. That derealization, depersonalization VR disorder, bro. You're getting the Jimmy legs
the whole time. You know, you start and plus I'm standing the entire time. My stream's 3 hours long, so know, it's like it's like a workout. But
I was fatigued the whole next day, dude. I was like, damn, am I getting sick? And I think it's just like my eyes and from like standing. I don't think I've like stand and made like weird movement that long. And then I had like, weird, almost like a Charlie horse type of situation. It was like the front of my calf, like on my, but only my left calf and only like the left part. So like, there's like some weird way I was throwing like jabs or something in that game, like tweaked just that muscle where it's like super sore, like not hurt or pulled, but just like really sore. Where I'm like, I never used that little muscle in that leg ever in my life.
Yeah, dude. Wait till you start playing like Thrill the Fighter Creed, dude. You're gonna be sore as shit. Because those games velocity matters. So you have to actually throw blows, dude.
Be throwing them hands, man.
For sure,
I saw this from Linus Tech Tips. Somebody's making these haptic feedback gloves, Lucid VR gloves. It's on Prototype 4. But it's like all homebrew stuff. And I thought of you because you have a 3D printer and like you have to 3D print most of the parts.
Yes.
And I don't know. The guy was claiming like you could do it for like about $40, but like I looked at the list of parts he had. It's about $90.
Yeah.
You know, each of the gloves. If you actually want to be wireless, and not like have a bunch of like more wire, but you already have wires, right? With the Vive.
No longer. No, since I went wireless, the only wire I have is like the USB cord that plugs into the battery pack. That's really it.
All right. Well, this is kind of like similar. So you'd have to have like one USB, another battery pack strapped to
pocket
you.
And, yeah.
If you're already going that deep, maybe it wouldn't bug you that much.
Right. Yeah. I'll definitely check it out. We'll see. Because like part of the problem with like the haptic feedback gloves is when you go that open source, you have to hope the game supports just open, shit like that.
It seems like there's a bit of a community and like there's like people building out drivers for like a bunch of games. Like I don't know, it seemed like the best games like Alex and Boneworks all support it now.
Okay.
Which is
how do you move? Like because those use joysticks or trackpads to move. So how do you move with gloves?
It still like has an attachment for like the controller on the glove, so it's using that to detect where your hands are, and then it's using like, the Bluetooth feedback as a controller to map the hand, like the fingers in the game.
Interesting. Okay.
It definitely it's worth checking out. Like the demo.
For sure.
I'm hoping sent the link to the professor, and I was like, "Hey, man, if you want to
He
build
also has
these,
a 3D printer.
yeah, he also has a 3D printer. I was like, if you want to build these, I will order all the parts, but you got to build 3 pairs for all of us." So I'm hoping I can like trick him with his newfound wonderment of VR to make us all some haptic gloves, man.
It's the best. It's the best time to trick people into doing things for VR when they're
Yeah,
when they're very new to it.
I'm like, oh, seems
My
like a great idea. This
my fear is like everyone else that I've gotten into VR. They'll either like Fable moved, so his space is smaller, right? So it's harder
yeah,
to get him to play it. Big Puffer moved and his space is smaller, but even then, he was very prone to motion sickness, so it was a struggle to get him to play it. With Buddy Sir Solace, he just VR in general just wasn't really for him. So it just didn't grab him like it grabbed me. So I'm hoping that I still have friends to play VR with. That's the big fallacy when you try. It's like when you were a kid and someone was a Sega kid, someone was a Super Nintendo kid, and you finally got them to get your console of choice, and you're hoping that they stick with it. That's
yeah, man. You're hoping that they don't drop a PlayStation 2. Well, everyone's still trying to play Super Nintendo.
Exactly. So what happened was all of my buddies had a PlayStation, right? We all chose PlayStation over the Saturn, and then the PS2 Dreamcast dropped. And then I remember I had a Dreamcast near me, but I just didn't have one until very late in life. My uncle had one, and I just was over there all the time. He watched us. PS2 dropped, and I was like, I'm gonna wait for the Xbox. Everybody else got a PS2, then I was separated again. So
you're gone, dude.
I think that's probably why that group of friends I've never spoke to again. It's probably because they had different consoles.
You went down that OG Xbox path, dude. That was a lonely road. There was nothing. And then like the internet was still a new thing. Like the idea of like trying to connect to other people online to play a game was insane.
But I was doing that already though.
Yeah, from PC. But like
no, even through console, like Xbox Connect, X-Link Kai, there were programs to emulate the network games to online. So I was doing it. I was living life.
You're out there making it happen, man.
Yeah, man. But people are all like, "You're a fucking nerd." I'm like, okay. I'm playing Halo Online, Halo 1 Online in 2001 or whatever. So
I don't know. It's still just been my biggest complaint though about kind of like how you got to this point for VR, where it's like you need like a good space and stuff. It's almost like the Wii remote gimmicks and stuff where it's like it seems like I tell people, they're like, would you recommend it? I'm like, there's about 2 months worth of content, like if you like burn it, after that there's really nothing, and then there's not like a lot of great just like couch and chill games for it. So I don't know, I'm hoping that they make more video games for it, but everyone seems to be obsessed with the interactivity, which is great for me, but like after like 20-30 hours in VR, I'm kind of over it. Like I'm not like, oh man, it's like when I reach out to like grab my can of water, I pick up a can of water, man, this is nuts. I get it, dude. Like
you see, I get games with really high replay value too, though. Or like multiplayer games and stuff, which definitely does it. But like I find myself playing Pistol Whip constantly, Until You Fall constantly, things like that, where I can do runs and stuff like that. So there's like any system really, there's stuff you can do. And if you really want to spend hundreds of hours in VR, there's always Skyrim VR, Fallout 4 VR. There's the MMO Zenith that has a ton of support right now and people are loving. So there's definitely things like that. But then there's other things like where people are like, I don't want to have a headset strapped to my face all the time, which is fair. I don't mind it personally. I'm like, fuck it.
I finally got the lenses attachment for my VR thing, so now I don't have to wear glasses in there.
Nice.
They came yesterday, and I only got them when I got home last night from the professor.
Okay.
I watched some YouTube on it. It was amazing. Way better.
Sweet.
Yeah, because they have like the anti-glare coating and all that stuff on there. So like, I don't get any of that on my normal glasses because I'm like, well, why? But like, it was all included. I did the Robleplex or whatever once.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
It's like $80 plus I think it was free shipping or like $5 shipping. This says like 4 weeks. It took like 2 weeks to get out here. It's great. It's great so far. I don't know, zero complaints. Works like glasses. I can see things. Cleared up my field of view. Tremendous. Like if you have glasses and VR, like drop the $80 on it. They also are now magnets on them before. I don't think they were. I think that was a lot of people's big complaint about it.
Okay, so it just
Yeah,
slots
you
it.
can like,
Okay.
yep, and you can take them off. And they have like little containers. They have like, it comes with a nice case for your glasses, so you can take off your glasses, put those in that while you're using it. It's great. They really
Sweet.
thought this shit through.
Sweet. That's awesome. Man.
You talk about wearing like a VR headset all the time. I'm like, yeah, I could do that now.
Yeah. I think a big thing too is you wear glasses, so you're
Yeah.
used to having stuff on your face all the time. I had like I never had the motion sickness, but I had like the irritation of something like right, in like the on like the bridge of
Yeah,
your
the
nose.
bridge. Yep.
Yeah, I had that irritation for a while, and that was something that I forget to mention. But people, like so many people, wear glasses where they're like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Where they're already used to it. I've
Yep.
never worn glasses in my life. Even sunglasses, I can't have on that long because it would just bug me, So I haven't had sunglasses on since I've purchased VR. This is virtue of like us living in a winter wonderland state in the pandemic. So I really didn't go outside
Hey
much.
man, you can use sunglasses in the winter. Dude. You're more likely to go blind.
That's true.
You
That's
know,
true.
because the sun reflects off the
Yeah,
snow.
the snow and all that. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true. That's true. But I don't.
Eskimos
So.
invented sunglasses, bro. Have you ever seen like the? I don't think we're supposed to call them Eskimos anymore. But have you ever seen Eskimo sunglasses?
Yes.
Inuit sunglasses, dude. They're dope. They look like Captain Cold. They're from DC Comics.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, he's repping those OG sunglasses for the
For
cold.
sure. You almost said Eskimo, didn't you?
What? No. How dare you, dude? I'll say Eskimo if I want, dude. I'm an adult.
So what do you call the popsicles? The Eskimo pops? What do you call them if you can't say Eskimo anymore?
I don't know. I haven't had an Eskimo pop in years, dude.
Yeah, like northern native iced treats, like
shaved ice treats, dude. That's what we're about here.
I don't know. All right, so back to the topic at hand. To the topic at hand. New engines came out. That's the big news this week. New engines.
I mean, aside from WrestleMania, bro.
Yeah. We can touch on WrestleMania.
Cody Rhodes, jumped over, signed a multi-year contract.
Yeah.
He's in there in WWE now. He showed up on Raw. He had a very clear mission statement where he's just like, I want the belt for my family. Easy. Yep. People can get behind that. People love him there. I don't know. Everyone's complained like he was like kind of a heel in AEW, but he was also kind of like the boss figure. And I was like, yeah, nobody likes the boss. He just kind of goes with the territory.
Yep.
So one of the reasons like everyone kind of hates Vince McMahon. I'm like, he's trying to run like a multi-billion-dollar company. Like not everybody's going to be happy with his decisions. And like, It is what it is.
I think everyone knew Cody Rhodes would come back. He was definitely a WWE guy, and
he's got a lot of family legacy and baggage.
Yeah, with Dusty, and definitely Dusty is brother,
like
Goldust, and
he claims there's a pretty good deal. Like hopefully it's like a open contract type of situation. It's exclusive.
No. Yep.
Yeah, WWE is pretty tight on them.
Yeah, but they're also if basically the only game in town for a lot of things. So. It is what it is. I'm sure he's making a bag. I'm sure he's doing fine.
I could see them working together with some AEW situation later on down.
Not in the same. Not in the same.
Not while Vinny's alive.
No. Definitely like smaller promotions, sure. Like, and that are not in this country. Like they'll probably do like Stardom or like they mention NJPW and stuff. Yeah. So. When it's not direct competition, like in the same country, they'll do it. But
we'll see what happens.
They mention a lot of UK promotions too. We'll see. Yeah. But yeah. Overall, WrestleMania day one better than day two. I felt.
They had Jackass showed up. He pinned to do with the giant mousetrap. Jake Paul came out with his $1 million Charizard.
Yeah.
Day two is kind of that's where Stone Cold hit the stunner on Vince.
Yeah, Vince took the worst stunner of all time. Like
a bit of a struggle. He's like 80 years old, dude. Like
Vince has never taken the stunner well though. Like he's terrible.
He's not a wrestler, dude. Like he's
True. But Stone Cold coming back, I was hyped for it. Stone Cold, the match he had with Kevin Owens was awesome.
I'm surprised he even wrestled, dude. I don't know, much respect to the legend, but I'm like, man, just chill out, bro. Like you don't need to be risking everything anymore. Like,
I'm fine with it, man. It's like that was straight nostalgia for me, man. Like Stone Cold coming out, just beating the shit out of people, stunning everyone, drinking beers. It was fantastic, man.
Triple H hung up his boots
as well with the heart issues.
Speaking of old people, like putting it in, dude. Like,
man.
good for him. I don't know. It seemed like he also was taking less of a role of like backstage too because of his heart issue. So we'll see,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, yeah.
best of luck. Hopefully,
But having your
you
health,
know.
man, and being able to watch your kids grow up is better than risking shit for a job.
How you
Like
say that, bro? But have you ever, been in the square circle in front of 100,000 fans in the arena and millions watching around the world?
no, no, I have
Exactly,
not.
bro.
But
Like you might trade everything, like all your family, bro.
we might be dead. I might be dead
Yeah,
tomorrow.
that's right.
Local man dies trying to be in front of 100,000 people. Suffers mild cardiac arrest and just couldn't handle it.
Rip, dude.
For sure, for
That's,
sure.
that's how it goes. Yeah, man. I
But
don't know. Overall, like you said, I agree with you. Like day one was way better than day two. I only
for
watched
sure.
the highlights. So I didn't have to suffer through any of it on the online. Yeah. It's too
But
long, bro. I was okay with WrestleMania was like half a day, and then they had like the preamble of like the pre-show. It was like, oh, it's
yeah,
pre-WrestleMania, and it's like a couple hours long.
kickoff show and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Then that became like a whole day event, and then now it's 2 days, and that's way too many days.
Right.
So I don't
Right.
know.
Yeah,
Video game news. We
man.
had the CryEngine 5.7 drop.
Yep.
They're focusing more on like their LTS, which is long-term support now.
Yep.
Uh,
Which is actually huge because how many games do you know that use the Cry engine
yeah, it's just
outside
Far
of
Cry.
stuff made by Crytek, right? Like,
Crisis.
right. Right.
They claimed like in 2019 they're going to do like ray tracing and more mobile support stuff. They also announced like VR support, but like nothing really has come out, and that's what I think a lot of people are hoping for in this announcement. They did in VR the Climb and the Climb 2, which a lot
Yep.
of people like, and those are
Oh, they're fucking
standalone.
amazing. They're fucking
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
So I mean, they know what they're doing, but
I
yeah. So
actually
but
am
people were
hoping Crytek does something bigger than the Climb was in VR because the Climb is definitely the CryEngine. Let's start right there. CryEngine is fucking beautiful, but it is a pain in the ass to develop for. Historically,
yeah.
I haven't dabbled in it since the original Crisis. Actually, I should say Crisis Warhead. I haven't dabbled in it since then, but notoriously, if you're coming from Unreal to CryEngine, you're going to go back to Unreal because like just everything that Unreal does that CryEngine also does. CryEngine's just UI and shit was so fucking cluttered where you
Yeah.
couldn't find shit. You'd have to stick to it, but
It seems
I'm
like
sure they have.
they've gotten better. They
Yeah.
switched to like an entity component system, kind of like a Godad or Unity, where you just
Yep.
kind of attach C++ scripts onto like whatever you're using. I don't know,
Yes.
man. Yeah, I'm
Yes.
kind of with you. Like, last time I tried CryEngine was back in the day, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be great. Everything's gonna look like Crisis and Far Cry." And
I
then, like,
can't
you get in
remember.
there,
Did we try that? Did we all try that at Professor's old place together?
probably.
I think so. I
We
think
probably
so.
all got it. We're like, "Let's try this out. This will be awesome. We'll
Yeah,
be
we're
cutting
all
edge, bro."
pissed.
They opened up these tools to the masses, man. It
Yeah.
kind of reminds me of Amazon. Didn't like Amazon have like their engine that they
Yep.
made? And
Yep. Lumberyard.
yeah, the Lumberyard. The thing was a
It's still there.
cluster.
It's still there.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
still
No, it's
available to
still
use. No one
still out
uses
there.
it because fuck that thing.
It's a
it
mess,
sucks.
dude.
It sucks.
It's
to
not made for
use.
people. It's made
It's
for
made
like
for, like,
people
the-
who are working on a specific project like
It's
10 years ago.
the 6 games that have been in development for Lumberyard are still in development for because
I think they had released one
It's so
game
fucking
and like
weird.
it was like a grand opening and grand closing of that game on the same day, dude. That's how bad that game was.
Really, just New World, right? New World is
Yeah.
like really it. That's out because the Crucible, like that game got unreleased. How the fuck do you unrelease a game? But somehow Amazon did it, dude. Fucking
Yeah.
Trailblazers, dude. Hey, dude. I'm releasing games tomorrow. Oh yeah, cool. Game comes out. Ah, fuck it, take it back. I'm sorry.
Pull it
I'm
out.
sorry.
It wasn't ready.
That's what it is.
Uh,
We live in a digital world, dude. They can straight
Yeah.
take the games back.
You own nothing, bro.
Right, for sure.
Yeah,
But-
so I don't know. People were mad about like the new features not being there that they showed in 2019, but it looked like they're focusing kind of like how Unity does it. So they have what's called like a game platform plugin, so you can pick what platform you're developing for right when you're making the game. And so it looks like they're kind of adding the modular approach where you can like just plug in like things, and I could see them like rolling out like their mobile VR style modules like later next year or the year after, because I feel like 5 years is like a good amount of time where it's like more tested and proven. The other news from that was like they have Scale Form 4, which I think is Adobe
Scale 4 is
Animate.
big. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's it's big. It's support for Adobe Animate, and it's there's a Scaleform engine as well, just
Yeah.
on top of it.
I
But
think it like lets you use like action scripts and stuff too, and
yep,
like pulls and stuff. Like it's massive, man. A lot of people still use that for UI animation,
yeah,
bringing in stuff. Like it's kind of like you said, it's like a really big and like that just like hints at like yeah they're coming to mobile. Just like obviously like if you want to do like good or great UI like you need something like that to be like a
yeah,
native support.
yeah.
It's one of the bigger issues I've seen with like Unity and Unreal Engine, somewhat with Godad as well, where it's like anytime you try and do like UI elements and stuff, like they just kind of are no help, dude. Like you have to like figure out like some sort of workaround, like with like
So
images or yeah,
tutorials for UI are pretty much like the one constant across any game dev platform, because it's something people are always focusing on the game, but then when you get to the UI, people are like, "Oh yeah, it's like that."
there's
Main
still a
menus,
UI.
pause screens are like the big. Actually, that might be a huge thing for us to talk about at some point in the future. Just like simple things that people don't realize take a shit ton of work to make. Like if you're
Like
made a pause screen in a game, it's fucking it is
it's like a
annoying to make,
small,
dude.
like dude, it
But
takes like
it's
almost as long as making the whole game.
yeah, dude.
Like,
But once you figure it out, you can like use it in everything basically.
yeah,
So, but like the first instance is a pain in the ass.
yeah, man. Like when you open up and make a template just for pause menus, dude. Like that, and just save that as like something you can slide into other projects, dude. Like
Yep. Yep.
yeah, like I don't know
It's
if you
probably why
want
the
to be
big game.
gainfully employed, like as somebody's always hiring for UI stuff. Like
Yep.
it's always big. Like it's hard to find people who do like really good UI. So anything that helps like integrate UI systems and like that's big for like any engine. So that was their big thing. And that got overshadowed by Unreal 5 coming
Unreal
out of
5,
preview.
it's done with
Yeah, they
previews.
dropped that. Yeah. I don't know. Their big tentpole features are nanite and lumens.
Yep. Yep.
Which don't work in VR. Neither does ray tracing. I tried like some of that stuff, at least like natively, because we've seen
You can
people,
bake it in, yeah.
yeah, like bootleg in, like it's like not supported because everything's kind of using like a OpenXR and they're still on DirectX 11.
Which when you can if your game runs on Vulkan and you use AMD's approach, you can do it. I don't know if
Yeah,
anyone's doing it, but you can do it. It's possible.
yeah. There's a lot of things that are possible, bro, but nobody's
What's
doing
it?
it.
What's AMD's ray tracing thing called? Do they still call it? It's like super fidelity is a thing, and I can't remember what like their that might be it. I can't
That
remember
sounds
real time
right.
lighting or something. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, like AMD and Vulkan, you should be able to do it. But
Yeah,
Unreal Engine 5 actually being released is pretty big, because
yeah,
once the game's out of previews, you have big studios latching onto it.
yeah.
So a big thing that came out from that was The Witcher 5. They're no longer
Finally
using their
confirmed.
internal engine. They're pretty much scrapping the Cyberpunk engine, and
Yep.
they are going Unreal 5, which is huge because I'm guessing like a shit ton of people are going to lose their jobs because that worked on engine creation.
Well, like there's like the thing is like a lot of people left because they like try to throw them under the bus. So I
Yeah.
think like they're like senior engineers and techs for their engine because they're like, hey man, figure out how to get this stuff working on 8-year-old technology, but also make it work for the cutting edge stuff. And they're like, bro, we can't. All right, but like they're like, do it in like 2 months. Also, now we have even newer stuff. Figure it out. We don't know what the specs are going to be for like the new Xbox or PlayStation 5, but get to work on that. And they're like, yeah, all right, I guess. And then like when they're like, yeah, we're gonna need some like 2-3 more years. And they're like, yeah, no, we're launching this right now, and now it's busted and it's your fault. And they're like, how though? And they're like, I'm out. I'm taking my stock options and I'm leaving, bro. Like this is crazy. So yeah, they kind of got like a dumpster fire and they just like all took like their parachutes. Hopefully they got paid. And if like UI's hiring, dude, if you're a lead engine designer, bro, like you'll find work.
Yeah,
you,
for sure.
you
No
find
one's
better
worried
work.
about you.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Like, and I hope all those guys, found work and stuff because they got like a raw deal with like CD Project Red. This seemed like a better move for them as well, just because of how corporate they
Established
are.
engine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and just use an established engine, and I mean they got their bones on using like a modified. I think it was like a Baldur's Gate engine because they used to be in the bootlegging business, and they like
Way back
were
in the day,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So they used to
Yeah.
like translate and localize stuff, and then I
Mhm.
think they like realized they could just make a game with that engine, and they're like, hey, let's just build an engine off of this engine, and they kind of did. And
Yeah.
after that, they're like, let's just now we have actual money, let's make our own engine from the ground up, and uh,
But then
you know,
rush the shit out of it.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen the same problem with other big game
Yeah.
groups, kind of like Bethesda.
As we've
Uh,
said before, remaking the wheel is you're going to be in trouble.
yeah,
That
yeah,
being said, though, I would I hope other game devs are making their own engines, just because parity is good, and having everything use Unreal Engine, which what, like 80% of games were using Unreal Engine now, like 70%, something like it's a high number.
it's a lot.
Um, it's like I don't want to go to the 360 PS3 era where everything used the Unreal Engine and everything was brown as shit. Like
Like the clicking in textures everywhere.
yeah, pop-ins. Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
I kind of I see some of that with like Nanite, but it's like so minuscule, like nobody ever brings it up. And so like I feel
Did
like
you
an asshole.
test
Like
it
if
on your new PC though?
I haven't, I downloaded the two tech demos that they have. One's like fighting the boss, the other's like through the valley or whatever.
Okay,
Uh, I
I
was
didn't notice it
shocked.
with a good PC.
Yeah, I downloaded those yesterday because I was going to like show the professor. I was like, oh, let me check out my new laptop and I'll show off a little bit to the professor. We can check out like what's coming in Unreal 5 because it's
Yeah,
out of preview.
yep.
So I downloaded both those games and they're both like 20 gigs and they're tech demos of like a scene. So, that's what you get when you like use real scanned in
Yep,
environments. Like
yep. That's, yeah, yeah,
taking up all the disk space, dude, for like one scene, dude. I don't know. Then I seems cool, and like it's not as bad as like the old Unreal Engine with things popping in, but I've just noticed it on like videos I've watched, and maybe when I'm using it on my own computer on like a actual build instead of previewing it from like the engine window.
yeah, yeah.
It'll probably be fine. It's probably fine. Yeah, like you said, like 70-80% of games. Tomb Raider said they're going to be using it.
Yeah,
People
which
who can fly.
they used Unreal Engine 4, so that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. Their big thing was like was it like trace effects for the hair? They're like, look
Yep,
at Laura's hair. This
yep.
is amazing.
Yep.
They look like
It did
very
look good.
mediocre.
I'm okay with it. I thought it looked great.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. They're like the hair gets wet when it's raining out, and everyone's like, "Oh, people are applauding." I'm like, "It's hair. We're having a whole
Hair is
con."
notoriously the hardest thing to animate, though, man.
It really is, man.
You either look like hair or you look like like a bunch of wet spaghetti. Like
Yeah, that's why like
it's
a
very
lot of
difficult.
male characters are bald because of that. Like they're
Yep,
just like
yep, bald or
those
buzz cuts. Yeah,
yeah, it looks good.
yep. You just
keep
get
it
rid of it.
clean.
Yeah,
People Can Fly also showed off a bit of a tech demo. They're the people who've worked on Gears of War, Fortnite, Painkiller. They're owned by Epic, so I mean, it makes sense that they're all using Unreal
Bulletstorm was their last big
like
thing,
solo run.
solo produced thing, which People Can Fly can make very fun games. There's
Yeah,
always one thing missing from their games, though. I swear. Like I really loved Painkiller. That's kind of how they got on the map. And then Bulletstorm I really loved, but then like people were never really with them. Like their games were like
yeah.
reviewed well critically, but then like just the people buying games never really got them. I don't get why. So hopefully they can find some
I definitely feel like they're like FromSoft almost, like the people who made
where they just need a tentpole
one
release.
breakout. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I feel like they're there just because they've always worked on other people's project. They have like the tool set, the people, the skills. They just need to and it's hard to do, especially if you're running a company, just to be like, we're gonna do our own thing and be unapologetic for it, and this is like what it is, and it's something that we have real passion about.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of stuff, they just like they get brought in like the hitman to like finish off the job like out of nowhere.
Yeah, they're a
like,
support
here,
studio primarily. Sure.
yeah, they're like, take this and like figure it out, and they're like, we got you, chief, and that's it. But yeah, I would like to see like something that studio is actually passionate about and like do. But I looked at their tech demo, dude. It's crazy impressive. You're like, holy crap. And then like, because they've worked on Gears, you're like, is this going to be the new Gears? Is this? And like, they're like, no, this is just a tech demo, guys. Calm down.
For sure. Gears 5, did that use Unreal Engine 5 like an early version, or was it just a highly modded 4? Do you know?
I think it was probably a highly mod 4. I don't know personally.
I'm curious. I want to say it used 5 actually, because
it might.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, 5's been in preview for a couple of years now.
Yeah. It's almost a first party game. Like Microsoft owns it, but it's kind of like a joint venture between Epic and Microsoft. So, I wonder. I'm honestly not sure. So there's of the engines out right now. I think that Unreal Engine 5 being out is a huge heavy hitter. So in the terms of the 3D game creation landscape, you have, which we've said earlier, Lumberyard, which go for it. If that gets
Yeah.
better, like I'm all for it. But where
I'm
they are
still
now,
not, even
I
if
don't
it's
know where the
better.
fuck. Yeah, I don't know where the
I
fuck
don't
they're gonna
know.
go. You have CryEngine, which hopefully is better. Honestly, like I'm speaking from a point of playing it, of trying to use it like what 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's better. I'm sure it is, but the only game I know that uses Cry for their engine are Crytek made games. So Hunt Showdown, The Climb, like
Yeah.
Cry, Crisis.
Crisis,
Yeah,
Far
yeah.
Cry. Yeah.
Well, Far Cry the originals, but
Yeah, the
they
OG.
since moved on since Ubisoft owns the
Yeah, it
license, so they
split
use their
off.
own. Yeah, they use their own internal thing. Because
I will say
Crisis
this
doesn't own
though,
them
as
anymore.
we quickly chat on Lumberyard, I think like where they shine is like their networking tools, and like that's kind of
100%
what they're
built-in
supposed.
AWS
Yeah,
support. Yes.
yeah, and like playing like if you're trying to make like some sort of mass eye multiplayer online, I still it doesn't seem like the most friendly engine, even like if that's what you're doing, but like you probably have the skill set and the team to build out all the custom tools to like use that back end to its
Just
utmost
their
advantage.
networking part is a plugin though, so
Yeah,
they have that separate, so which is
yeah.
awesome. But it's built into Lumberyard, which is cool. No, that's a very good point. That's a
I
very
just
good point.
we chat a lot on Lumberyard. I have to give them like something. I'm like, damn. I was like, oh yeah, they do really good networking, but like, it's like you said, it's kind of
Yeah.
like a plugin. So like you'll see it on other games as well, where it's like kind of like a Havoc or like Speed Tree, where it's
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. Where it's like ubiquitous across the
yeah,
industry. Where
they
it's
do
like, oh,
something
everyone's just
really
using
good
it.
and everybody will use it. Like if
Yeah,
that's what they're doing, like
yeah,
for a lot of connecting. So
yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
man. Yeah, CryEngine, I'd like
Was
to see get better. Like I know, like they're shying away from how they've been doing stuff with the C++
yeah,
now and Entity Components. They're making it.
yeah, yeah. So we'll see
Uh,
if that becomes more user friendly, and I think what's gonna like because
I'm not saying
historically
they're ripping off Unity, but they've definitely
100%
been
they are,
taking like
100%.
with the LTS, like the long term support. Like Unity's been doing that for a few years now, but it seems like they're taking the good ideas from Unity because Unity does a
Yes,
lot of stuff really bad.
yeah.
Kind of like you're
So
saying, like they're the other big players like Unity, and then we also have
mhm,
like Unreal for big 3D engines that are doing everything.
yep,
I
yep.
think
So I think
Godot
that
has a lot of potential.
yeah,
So
yeah,
free open
definitely.
source. I think a lot of people got behind that. The community has. I think they also got like a few really big like grants from major companies that are like, hey, we could just use these guys and have to pay anything. So I
Yep.
know like some money has gone into like helping that team like get better, like and bigger for like integration of like other tools, like some Adobe stuff and
Yep.
I think
Yep.
Blender as well for like other free open
Yeah, I
software.
feel like Blender's a part of every engine at some point.
Yeah.
At some point we'll have Blender support,
We
which is
might be in
cool.
Blender right now, dude. Like,
Right, right, right. Yeah, dude. I think that just as long as these big engines, they always like. Here's the fallacy with having a new engine where Unity shined and Unreal actually shined because they started it, but the other guys who tried to come up didn't. Is they targeted AAA.
yeah,
Like like you're not gonna get AAA to jump on right away because you have like your licensing fees and stuff like that. Make it like the Chance the Rapper quote, right? You're gonna make it so free, that you got everyone has to respect it.
yeah,
From his Acid Rap album to his next one, he's like, oh, you need to sell your album to make it to get a Grammy, right? He's like, well, I'm gonna make it so free they can't deny it, So I feel like CryEngine, right? Like they targeted AAA, but it's where the indies and like this the 1 to 10 small teams or whatever just can build something with it to show off not only your engine but the usability of it and to get full games produced using your product. So how did Unreal get so big, right? Like in the early days of 3D gaming, it was you either used the Quake engine or you used Unreal, which would
yeah,
be ID Tech 3 at that point, and Unreal. Uh, How'd it get big? Unreal Tournament and the original Unreal were fucking full game tech demos for the engine.
Yeah.
How did Quake get so big? Quake was a full fucking tech demo
And
for
like
its engine, and it
and
was
the
a good
modding
game.
tools. The
And the
modding
modding
tools
tools,
as well.
yes,
That's what
which were just from the engine. It's like you're
yeah.
using the engine just to mod it. So
Yeah, that's what I've heard like a lot of people say as well. It's like it's almost like a fight to get younger people to use like these tools to mod, because like people are gonna like keep using what they're used to. So like if they go to like a new studio, they can be like, "Hey, did you hear about like Unreal?
yeah,
You know about this Unreal Engine thing?" Or like, you know, for Unity, like people said like that's why Unity's finally starting to get more shine, is because it's been free and like
for so
uh
long.
yeah, for so long that like so many indies have like gone to like bigger studios and they're like, "Hey, we could use Unity. I know how to like throw something together in this." And they're like, "Yeah, I guess we'll give it a shot."
Yep,
So
yep.
yeah, it's kind of like a fight for like the younger generation of users as well. Like it's like I would say Unreal's been doing like a 4D chess move, so that's why it's like in everything, is because like if you grew up like in the 90s and you had anything any inclination to making games, like you've probably at some point like tried to mod like an Unreal map or or
I
a
totally
Quake
did.
map.
Yep, both.
I would say the same thing
And
for
Half Life. Yeah.
Steam as well. Like the what do they use
Steam
for like
SDK.
Half-Life? The
Gold Source, as you're saying.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
that was from
yeah,
back in the day, and then it's the Source engine, which is
yeah.
incredibly moddable. So that goes to show, man. If you I had a cough there, but if you make your engine customizable, if you have a flagship game from it, like Valve, right? Their flagship game was Half Life. People used
Yeah.
Gold Source, which is based on the Quake engine, but then Source, which has some old Gold Source shit into it, you could easily go towards the next one. If you mod shit in the Source engine, you know rigging, you know animation, you know like level design, you know textures. It's incredible how much you'd learn from modding, that these big boys who are coming in to try and give you just a full engine with no game to back it up. They are starting from lower than the bottom, because I feel when you have a game to back it up, your creativity just it's easier, right? It's
Yeah,
easier to modify something. It's easier to add sugar into your oatmeal than it is to grow your own oats. You know what I mean? Like if it's use
absolutely,
that
man.
example. So I think what's missing in the industry right now is a flagship game to show off your engine. No one's doing it. The only reason like Unreal isn't doing it is because they don't have to, because they've been in the game so
They
long. But they're the exception, not the rule.
yeah, I think they even dropped like with Unreal 5, like I think it's called like Larex or something. It's like a FPS style template that you can get,
Okay.
and it shows like it kind of shows off like almost like Unreal tournament style like FPS gameplay in it. So
Sure.
it's like if you get the engine, it's like it's at least something. And I know like Unity kind of does that with like some of the smaller games. There's like here's like a Mario Kart ripoff you could kind of do. Like we'll kind of teach you how to mod it, and like that's kind of what they're doing. That was the other huge thing that came out of Unreal. I think what was it called? The new community hub on their
Mm,
website.
yes.
So you can get in touch with other creators and stuff now and like start learning Unreal. And I know like Unity tried this for a little bit and they're like, oh, we're going to charge money. And they're like, yeah, well, let's just give this away for free, because like the more people can learn this, like it's better for everybody. Like, people are
Yeah.
going to like want to buy stuff from our asset store that's going to support like other smaller creators who can build up a portfolio to like join a bigger studio if they want. It's going to help like other people like get paid to like do some scripting or something to like help solve smaller problems. It's going to create like support like system, and like people will stop bugging us as well. Like we're like Unreal doesn't want to like get a support help ticket like for something you can't do. So but
Definitely.
yeah, community
Definitely.
hubs are huge, man. Like you said, like having like a big Tedpool style game to show off. And I mean, I feel like Fortnite's kind of it for the kids right now, where they can see Fortnite and they're like, "Hey, I could make Fortnite myself." And it's like, but do you want to though? Really?
Yeah.
Maybe,
But
you know?
we all got to start somewhere, man.
Yeah.
I think that's it. So we're nearing the end of the time here. Do you have any final thoughts on engine stuff, or even like the VR stuff we talked about earlier?
I would say like we're spoiled for choice right now with engines. There's a lot of great things, and all of them have like pros and cons to them. They're all just tools. Everything's just a tool. That's what I will say. Like, don't think that any one thing does anything better than the other. It's just a tool, and like it's how
It's
you
how you know
use
how to
it.
use it. Yep.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of people, especially like me, I'm an artist, where I fall into like this trap where I'm like constantly looking for a piece of software that's just going to magically do the work for me. There's no software that does that. There's no video game engine that's just going to magically make the video game for you. Like you got to do like hard work at the end of the day to realize like whatever vision you have for yourself or your team that you're trying to do. And like I said, like when me and the professor were just hanging out, we're like, oh, we're gonna make a quick typing zombie game. Like we drew it up real quick before we started just doing it. But before that, we decided how we're gonna do it. We're like, oh, we're gonna just do this in CSS real quick. It'll be, that's our engine.
Yep.
We're gonna make it web, and we're gonna draw quick how this will work. And then we executed, and it took maybe an hour or two to like get up and running like a basic prototype. But yeah, man, like what about you? Any final thoughts on all the engines?
I think it's exciting. I think that I didn't see Crytek's licensing. I'd like to hear more about that because as an indie dev and stuff like that, I'd like to know how profit sharing would work with them. If they are like Unreal with a cap, and so if you reach like 100,000 sales, then you give them like a chunk. Well, I'll have to do more research on that, or maybe they haven't announced it. I honestly don't know. If you're just starting out and you're doing 3D work, I'd still say Unreal or Unity are going to be your options. I don't want to like really poop on the CryEngine, but just from my own experience in the past, I'd have to use it again before I could even give it a recommend. It just was not fun to use. There's been a mech game, like a MechWarrior inspired game that's been coming out for years based on the CryEngine, and I guarantee you it's because of how shoddily like made this it was why it's not out yet. That's my thought. So yeah, exciting news. I think that Unreal Engine 5 coming out officially is proof positive that we are currently in the next gen. And I'm looking forward to what's on the horizon, man. I'm also looking forward to playing a little more VR with you and the professor, man. That should be fun.
Yeah, hopefully that the PlayStation teaming up with Unreal pushes forward DirectX 12 for all our headsets so we can be video gaming in the future, dude. That's what I'm excited for.
For sure. All right, man. Well, I think that's our time. So for the Combo Wombo podcast, I'm Mr. Gimpy. That over there, that's
Chipmunk.
All right. Like, share, subscribe. We will see you guys all next Sunday on the Combo Wombo. Take care. We out.
Peace.